Hello and welcome to the 30-second drill. My name is Josh Reese, and this is the place where everything is done as quickly as possible, from the research to the graphics. And here with me is Shane Campbell.
How you going, Josh?
I'm going very well. First up, though, I don't care about how you are. What I'm going to get into is my instant overreaction for the week. Number one is this is who Josh Allen is. We need to stop overrating this guy. What's with wide receivers dropping perfect throws into pick sixes? Australia's team, the Detroit Lions, they're coming. Who said Matthew Stafford is done? And the prince that was promised, is he actually ready to be knighted? That's what I have to say for our overreaction.
So, one comment on that: the pick sixes that were thrown from perfect passes. One jumps to mind, the Patrick Mahomes one. What else were you thinking along there, Joshy?
Clearly, McCorkle Jones.
The one where he threw it too high and wide.
Absolutely.
Excellent. That's why he's the fifth best quarterback in his division.
It's a bit harsh. We'll have you take it away today with the first game of week 2.
Sure thing. So first up, we have the Vikings at the Eagles. As far as the Vikings go, they are trash. And without Justin Jefferson, I don't think they'd be any good. They were, I guess, looking to go back-to-back in the division this season, but there is no chance that's happening. I think third's where they'll be settled into. All right, and for the Eagles, they've picked a great game to have their worst game of the season. If you're going to play terrible, it's got to be against the Patriots because you're going to win no matter how you play.
So you're right about the Vikings. Without Jefferson, they'd be a disaster. I still expect him to play pretty well against the Eagles. The Eagles, another fumble for Jalen Hurts. I don't believe they're impressive at all, but they still won, which is a very good sign. If you are going to play poor and win, it's usually a pretty sign that there's a high upside. And I still have a lot of faith in the Eagles to be one of the top teams in the NFC.
I am taking the Eagles to win this game.
I am taking the Vikings after everything I've just said. Now we're moving on to the Packers at the Falcons. As I said in the last week's episode, Green Bay are a good organization. They're obviously too good to get someone like Caleb Williams. They'll be good for a very long time. But if beating the Bears is your Super Bowl, congratulations. Your offensive coach made Love look better than a defensively coached Fields. And as for the Falcons, if teams can't stop the run, this team will run all over them. I am picking the Falcons.
As far as Green Bay go, I think you touched on everything I need to say. Jordan Love's in a good position. Got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years, and he's got a good offensive coach. Definitely gives him advantage over Fields, who is, I think, 5-21 now. So not looking good for him. As far as the Falcons go, what they do on the weekend? They beat the Panthers. So I am not going to lie, I didn't watch the game. We're limited on time here. So let's go. I'm going with the Falcons this game.
Raiders.
All right. All right. So next up, we have Raiders at the Bills. Raiders got a win over the Sean Payton Broncos, which was surprising to me. Did not see that coming. And as far as the Bills go, that was insipid yesterday against the Jets. Josh Allen was pathetic. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them horrendous. And then the fumble, 2 fumbles on the one play. So that was interesting. Although I am picking the Bills to bounce back. They need to.
Yeah, I don't have much faith in the Bills. Josh Allen did what he does. The times when he has been great have been outliers. This is who he is. He's going to give other teams a chance to win the game. And I have faith that the Raiders are going to beat the Bills as well, even though I'd had no faith in the Raiders before week 1. All right, so I'm kicking off.
What do you got? The Ravens
at Bengals. Cool.
Yep.
So the Ravens were not impressive against the Texans, and now they're going up against the Bengals, who were not impressive against the Browns. However, the Ravens got the win. I don't expect the Ravens to get the win against the Bengals. Joe Burrow probably played his worst game ever. I expect him to bounce back, and I will be picking the Bengals to roll the Ravens this week.
This year, Lamar wanted to throw the ball, be a bit more of a pocket passer, but he didn't do a great job of that last week. Luckily, they only had the Texans, so it was quite easy for him to get the win, but I don't think he threw a touchdown or ran one in, with one interception as well. As far as Joe Burrow goes, definitely the worst game he's played in his career. I think 31 passes for 82 yards or something like that. That's that's not going to get it done this week. I have all the faith in the world that Joe Burrow will bounce back, and I'm taking the Bengals to win this week. Right, next up we have Seahawks at Australia's team, the mighty Detroit Lions. Cinderella story for Gino. The Gino-rella story is coming to an end. Let's move on to the team that actually matters. The Detroit Lions smashed the Chiefs. Wasn't even close at any stage. Biggest win in Detroit since 1991. And the defense stepped up when it mattered most. Jared Goff stepped up when it mattered most. A 8-play, 75-yard touchdown drive to take the lead in the fourth quarter. Take the Lions to win this one.
I'm also going to take the Lions. I didn't have faith in the Gino-led Seahawks anyway, but what I saw from the Lions was something I haven't seen from them before. They had multiple chances where they could do previous Detroit Lion things and stuck that game up, but they kept the pressure coming. That run game was elite. And Jared Goff, well, he just doesn't throw the ball to the other team. Something Josh Allen could learn from. But I'm picking the Lions, Australia's team. Get on board.
Mac Jones could learn something too.
So now we have the Colts at the Texans. The Colts, Anthony Richardson, both of our pick for offensive, or probably just rookie of the year, sorry. They look pretty good. They lost to the Jags. The Texans look like the Texans. And I don't have anything else to really add other than I'm picking the Colts because I think the Texans suck. So you can have 10 seconds back in your day.
And take 30 seconds back in your day because I'm picking the Colts and moving on. Right, next up we have the Chiefs at the Jags. Offense for the Chiefs looked pretty ordinary without Kelsey, so I think he should take a page out of Chris Jones's book. I think he should have a holdout until he is fairly compensated. Let's all hope he does that. 0-2 is a possibility as the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, him and Calvin Ridley looked great. Ridley's first game since October 2021. I'm picking the Jags to win this one.
I expect the Chiefs to bounce back. I don't think there would have been anyone moving faster than the Chiefs hierarchy after that Detroit Lions game doing anything that Chris Jones wants. The Jags got the W, but they weren't that impressive. I expect them to get better as the season rolls on. They got an offensive-minded coach. The Prince that was promised looks very good, but the Chiefs are going to take this because they're not going to let themselves slip to 0-2. That's right. Measured. So now we have the Bears at the Bucks. I was on the Bears for week 1. I am off the Bears. The Bears suck. I don't know why unless you were born in Chicago, why you would go for the Bears. They're probably going to get pick 1 again. I don't know what they'll do. I hope they don't ruin Caleb Williams if they get the chance, but they suck. So I am picking the Bucks, who I didn't expect to win anything because the Bears suck.
Couldn't agree more with what you said about the Bears. I'm pretty sure I said that last week. Picked them to finish last in the division. They just suck. Like I said, Fields 5-21, and it's not going to get any better this week. Baker Mayfield looked pretty good. Still got some elite wide receivers out there, and Evans showed why he's perennial all-star. And I will be taking the Bucks to win this one. Next up, we have Chargers at Titans. Chargers, just who knows what to make of them. Every year they seem to stuff it up in just new ways. But I'll let Josh touch on that because he loves Staley. Titans, I think they're pretty much an elite team. Just the quarterback's letting them down. So I don't know how far Tannehill can take this team, but it's not going to be very far. I've got the Chargers in this one.
I don't like Staley. He sucks. He's a defensive-minded head coach, and his defense sucks. He gets bailed out by Justin Herbert, who is an absolute baller, And the Chargers owners should be shooting themselves in the foot for not going after Sean Payton. They've made a massive mistake. They should immediately be on the phone looking for Harbaugh from Michigan because Staley sucks so bad. He is awful and he's ruining this team, but they're going to win.
Right, straight to the next one.
I didn't even talk about the Titans. All right, Giants and Cardinals. All right, next up, we got the Giants and the Cardinals. The Giants, they were the worst team of the week. The Cardinals suck. I'm picking the Giants.
So yeah, both teams coming into this 0-1, and they both deserve to leave 0-2, but unfortunately that can't happen for both the teams. I will be taking the Giants, but only because the Cardinals just they're just going for Caleb Williams. No matter what happens, that's what they're going for. Danny Dimes, I don't know what's going on there. I thought he was going to actually improve on last year, but he's taking a big step back. Trying not to overreact to week one, but it's pretty hard to do when you look that bad.
It's my job to overreact.
Next up, we have the 49ers at the Rams. 49ers absolutely walloped the Steelers. I chose the Steelers last week, so that was slightly surprising. And the Rams, Matt Stafford looked sensational. That was really reverted back to his Detroit ways there when he smashed the Seahawks. So that was good to see. We'll always have a soft spot for Stafford, although he will lose this week. 49ers to win.
The fit Brock Purdy looks like the solution to all of Kyle Shanahan's problems. He has an absolutely stacked team. The guy's a genius, and he's just got a guy that isn't going to stuff up, which is, if you believe the rumor mill, who he wanted with Mac Jones with that pick. We didn't forget who Matthew Stafford was. The guy can play, but he's going to struggle against this 49ers team, and I'm picking the 49ers to get the W on the weekend. Jets at Cowboys. The Jets, devastating news for them that Rodgers is out. Their defense looked incredible, and I'd love to say it was their defense that made Josh Allen make those mistakes, but I think that was Josh Allen. Zach Wilson has a chance to regain that starting spot, and the Cowboys, their defense looks amazing. So Zach Wilson, I think, is going to struggle. Dak Prescott just literally has to not make mistakes, which is hard for him. Picking the Cowboys.
I'll also take the Cowboys in this one, and another rout of a New York team. 40-0 that was just unbelievable. But elite defense probably helps when the best coach on the team is the defensive coordinator as opposed to the head coach, because Mike McCarthy, I don't think much of him. With Zach Wilson starting, means the season is most likely over. That defense could be scary, top 5, top 3 even. But as long as Zach Wilson is starting, Mac Jones will not be the worst starter in the division for once. We got Commanders at Broncos up next. The Commanders had a win, which we will not be saying very often, and Broncos had a loss, which we will probably actually be saying quite frequently if they keep playing like the way they did. Russell Wilson does not appear to be fixed. Sean Payton may have made a pretty big mistake. I'll let Josh touch on that because he's pretty passionate about it. I am taking the Broncos to get their first win of the Sean Payton era.
I don't have anything to add about the Commanders because, as I said, I had to Google their quarterback. They're not impressive to me. But Sean Payton should have sat out another year for that Chargers gig. It's going to kill me. It would have been amazing. Payton and Russell, they look okay, but that's not even enough to beat the Raiders, who people thought were potentially going to not win a game, be last in their division. And the Broncos they look like crap. Sean Payton, he's made a massive, massive mistake. But I'm picking the Broncos. Now on to the Dolphins at America's team, the Patriots. The Dolphins, their quarterback, coach, wide receiver combo is unbelievable. It's almost unstoppable. I'm going to stop there because I want to talk about the Patriots. If you get neutral zone penalties, if you throw stupid pick six on your opening drive of the season and fumble the ball, you're going to keep losing games that you had the opportunity to win. And that is why the Patriots are not the Patriots of old. And Bill needs to fix it, picking the Dolphins.
Tua and Hill, I think they combined for 215 yards, I believe it was. So Tyreek at the start of the year wanted 200 yards, and he's off to a flying start. I am definitely taking the Dolphins in this one. Got the better quarterback, got the better wide receivers. It's pretty much got everything that's better. Won't give McDaniel the nod over Belichick yet, but Patriots, they didn't have a lot going for him. Terrible quarterback. Just awful, awful quarterback. Terrible quarterback. Dolphins it is. Right, next up, we have Saints at Panthers, and I'm taking the Saints.
I'm taking the Saints, but Bryce Young, that wasn't a good debut. Hopefully things get better for the Panthers, but the Saints just need to keep doing what they were doing, and they'll take that division because that division sucks. So we finish off with the Browns at the Steelers. Watson didn't look that great, but didn't have to do much. I am picking the Browns purely based on form. They look obviously much better than the Steelers. The Steelers with Kenny Pickett didn't look that impressive. Deshaun Watson, maybe he's coming good again. I don't know, but I'm still taking the Browns in this one.
This one, I think, will be a very low-scoring defensive battle. Both quarterbacks did not look great. I have a lot of faith in Pickett, but he was absolutely terrible. He had no time, and I'd imagine it'll be much of the same against Garrett and co. this week. As far as the Browns go, Deshaun Watson was sacked 3 times. I think he'll be running for his life against TJ Watt again. The Steelers were absolutely embarrassed on Monday. Yes, Americans, it is Monday when your games are played here. But I will be taking the Steelers.
Thank you for tuning in to the 30-second drill. For anyone who wants to know, Shane and I are sitting at 10 wins apiece in our head-to-head. But don't bank on us to always get it right. As I said, we do the research as quickly as possible. Have a wonderful day. How do I stop recording? There